deep into the eyes, read them like a book. Trapped inside a prison, gotta free them like a crook. Make off with the loot, made off for the joke. Treated like these cowards never needed what we took, and we repeat it like a hook. Caught in the deep, come back like Wheezy. Card 3, sensation. Wait, then pause the beat. Eyes don't lie, truth still hard to see. They're begging me to show them, they're saying that I owe them, but I'll never give it up. Not for you, not for no one. Foreign ride, touring, soaring, open road, exploring, creepers, sleepers.
Yeah, welcome to the show. This is Smoke the Competition. I'm your host, Eric Sojash. Please give us a like. Please subscribe to the channel. It's greatly appreciated. You can follow us on Twitter at Sojash Sports. Today's episode, we're diving into the NFL Week 9. We're going to break down your waiver ads, some trade targets. Also, we're going to preview the Thursday night football game between Tennessee Titans and the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're going to break down some other NFL tips and have a good time. So sit back, relax, and let's enjoy the show. It's NFL Week 9, Smoke the Competition. Let's go. First thing I want to do is review those waiver ads and see how they've turned out. Last week I was telling you to pick up quarterback Derek Carr off waivers, plug him into your lineups, and he absolutely boomed for everybody who started him like myself. In Week 8, Derek Carr had 23.3 fantasy points. Depending on your format, he completed 19 passes for 310 yards and 2 touchdowns. Would have been a third if his receivers can hang on to the ball from time to time. So far, Derek Carr has been a solid play. He's a solid floor, averaging around 20 fantasy points per game over his last 4 weeks. Now this week, going into Week 9, he gets the Chicago Bears. That defense has been wheeling. They've been shopping their players at the trade deadline. This is another good week for Derek Carr to play. I hope you were able to pick him up off waivers. He's an absolute must start and a waiver boom. The next player I want to review as a good waiver ad that I had mentioned in previous weeks is running back of those Los Angeles Rams, Darrell Henderson. He's coming in as a week-to-week filler for the injured Kyren Williams. And if you had Kyren Williams like I did in many leagues, Darrell Williams has been an absolute savior. In his first 2 starts, he's averaging just around 11.5 fantasy points per game. In Week 7, he got 13 fantasy points against the Pittsburgh Steelers. In Week 8, against a tough Dallas Cowboys defense, where his team got blitzed, he still was able to manage 10 fantasy points. So he is a good start heading into Week 9 against a much weaker Green Bay Packers defense. Darrell's an absolute grab. If you haven't snatched him off waivers and he's still available, go and get him. I have him and I'm plugging him into all my lineups. He's definitely been an absolute waiver boom. Alright, let's have a look at your Week 9 waiver ads. See if we can grab some players to help us on this upcoming bye week. First player I see as a pretty good ad this week is rookie quarterback Will Levis of the Tennessee Titans. He's coming off his first career start where he absolutely went bananas, threw for 4 touchdowns, 238 yards on 19 for 29 passing. He was only sacked 2 times. He added another 7 rushing attempts for 11 yards. Not really big on the ground. He'll improve there. But in terms of passing, rating, and touchdowns, he was an absolute stud. DeAndre Hopkins kept connecting for touchdowns over and over again. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that to the Pittsburgh Steelers defense in Week 9, but moving forward, he does have some good opponents on the schedule. This is going to be the Titans starting quarterback this year and possibly beyond. Pick up Will Levis, add him to your rosters, play him in good matchups. He looks like he might be a star in the making. The next player I see as a good ad off waivers in Week 9 is tight end of the Cleveland Browns, David Njoku. If you're like myself and you got Sam Laporta in almost every league, he's on a bye this week, you're going to need a filler. Or if you went heavy and drafted someone like Darren Waller and he's having that hamstring flare up again, you're going to need someone to fill in for him. That player to fill in is David Njoku. He's coming off his best week of the season where he scored 15 fantasy points on 4 receptions for 77 yards and a touchdown. He's quickly getting back to that old form that he was finishing with last year. If he can get Deshaun Watson back in the fold, that's only going to help his target share increase, help his touchdown share increase. So get David Njoku. He's a good bye-week filler here. I'm going to be starting him in a couple leagues. Let's go David Njoku. With that fantasy football trade deadline lingering, let's have a look at who's a good trade target, see if we can get someone on your team and push towards that 2023 fantasy football championship. The guy that I'm targeting is Calvin Ridley of the Jacksonville Jaguars. A lot of his fantasy owners are really low on him. He's had a bit of a rough start to the season. Expectations were pretty high coming off of a suspension. You had to understand that this was going to be an up and down season. There wasn't anything that was a guarantee in terms of his opportunity or target share entering that Jacksonville Jaguars offense. However, Calvin Ridley is too good of a talent to give up on. I'm targeting him in several leagues. I've already picked him up in one. I believe coming out of the bye week, him, Trevor Lawrence, and Doug Peterson are going to get together, get in that lab, and figure out ways to get him the ball and get him going. The talent, like I said, is just too good, especially for him and the quarterback. Get Calvin Ridley, make a trade offer. You're not going to have to give up much to get him. I believe he's going to be a league winner with tons of upside moving forward. And that takes us into our Thursday Night Football preview between the Tennessee Titans and the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's week 9, kicking this week off. We got Will Levis, the rookie sensation, coming off his rookie debut, traveling to Pittsburgh to take on Mike Tomlin and that Vantage defense. TJ Watt's going to be coming after Will. It's going to be something he hasn't experienced at this level quite yet. That Pittsburgh defense can single-handedly win a game for them, and they might have to. That offense is looking putrid. Even though Kenny is coming back from that rib injury, said he's going to be good to go. With him in the lineup, things have not been great. George Pickens has only been the bright spot so far this year. I'm not too sure who I'm leaning with. Going to have to do a little bit more research, dive a little heavier into this matchup. But it is hard to bet against them Pittsburgh Steelers, so the hometown favorite might get my vote. Will Levis, let's see what you got. I'm going to break down that tape a little bit more and then come back with a pick for y'all. This is Thursday Night Preview. Let's go. That's it for today's episode. Thank you for joining us. Give us a follow. Once again, subscribe to the channel. I'm Eric Sojash. Peace, love. Let's continue to smoke the competition.
Deep into the eyes, read them like a book. Trapped inside a prison, gotta free them like a crook. Make off with the loot, made off of the joke. Treated like these cowards never needed what we took, and we repeat it like a hook. Caught in the deep, come back like Wheezy. Card 3, sensation, wait then, pause the beat. Eyes don't lie, truth still hard to see. They're begging me to show them, they're saying that I owe them, but I'll never give it up. Not for you, not for no one. Foreign ride, touring, soaring, open road.